Can Mathew Knowles really reveal the truth behind Beyoncé's incredible fortune? Or is the story much more complicated than most people realize? Whenever Beyoncé's name appears in conversations about celebrity wealth, the numbers immediately grab attention. Estimates of her fortune have made headlines for years, leading many people to wonder how she transformed from a talented young singer in Houston into one of the most successful entertainers and businesswomen in the world. Some believe it all started with having the right people around her. Others argue that her marriage to JayZ changed everything. Still others claim that her father carefully planned every step of her rise to fame. But according to Mathew Knowles, those explanations leave out the most important part of the story. As Beyoncé's father, and the man who managed her career during its earliest and most challenging years, Mathew witnessed the sacrifices, setbacks, and relentless work that happened long before the sold-out stadium tours and global recognition. While he acknowledges the guidance he provided, he has consistently pointed to one factor above all others: Beyoncé's determination. Long before she became a household name, Beyoncé was known for treating every performance as though it were the most important moment of her life. Family members and people who worked with her have often described a young performer who spent countless hours rehearsing routines, strengthening her vocals, and learning every aspect of live performance. For her, talent was only the starting point. Mathew has explained that discipline became part of her daily routine at an early age. Practice sessions weren't occasional events, they were a way of life. While many young performers relied on natural ability, Beyoncé developed a reputation for preparing until every movement, every note, and every performance reached the standard she expected of herself. That mindset would later become one of the defining characteristics of her career. Of course, talent and preparation alone do not guarantee success in the entertainment industry. Thousands of gifted singers compete for opportunities every year, yet only a small number ever reach international fame. Beyoncé's early journey included disappointments, difficult auditions, lineup changes, and moments when success seemed uncertain. The group that eventually became Destiny's Child experienced numerous obstacles before finding mainstream success. There were changes in membership, intense competition from other artists, and the constant pressure to prove themselves to record executives. During those years, there was no guarantee that the group's dreams would become reality. Mathew Knowles made a decision that many considered risky. He stepped away from a stable corporate career to dedicate himself to managing the group's future. It was a major gamble, both professionally and financially. If the plan failed, the consequences could have been significant. Looking back, that decision became one of the turning points in the family's story. Still, Mathew has repeatedly rejected the idea that he simply handed success to his daughter. In his view, management can create opportunities, but it cannot replace talent, commitment, or the willingness to outwork everyone else. Once opportunities appeared, Beyoncé had to prove she deserved them. As Destiny's Child began climbing the charts, audiences around the world noticed the group's polished performances and remarkable stage presence. Hit songs followed, award nominations increased, and international recognition grew. Yet even as the group's popularity expanded, Beyoncé continued refining her skills. Rather than becoming comfortable with success, she reportedly worked even harder. According to Mathew, one quality separated Beyoncé from many talented artists: she never believed success was permanent. Every album, every concert, and every television appearance represented another chance to earn the audience's respect all over again. That attitude helped prepare her for the next major challenge. Leaving a successful group to begin a solo career has ended countless promising music careers. Fans often compare solo work to previous group success, while critics question whether one performer can carry the same level of excitement alone. When Beyoncé launched her solo career, expectations could hardly have been higher. Fortunately for her, the transition proved successful. Her music reached audiences around the globe, her performances became even more ambitious, and she quickly established herself as one of the defining artists of her generation. Yet Mathew argues that something else was happening behind the scenes. While fans focused on awards and chart positions, Beyoncé was becoming increasingly interested in the business side of entertainment. She wasn't satisfied with simply recording music and performing concerts. She wanted to understand contracts, ownership, negotiations, branding, and long-term planning. That curiosity would eventually become one of the foundations of her financial success. Mathew has shared that Beyoncé paid close attention to important business decisions. Rather than leaving every financial matter to advisors, she wanted to understand the agreements she signed and the long-term impact those decisions could have on her career. For many artists, creative work and business remained separate worlds. For Beyonce, they became closely connected. She understood that building a lasting career required more than producing hit songs. It required protecting her work, making informed decisions, and thinking years ahead instead of focusing only on immediate success. That philosophy became increasingly important as the entertainment industry changed. Music consumption evolved from physical albums to digital downloads and eventually to streaming services. Marketing strategies shifted. Social media changed the relationship between artists and audiences. Revenue sources diversified. Artists who failed to adapt often struggled. Those who embraced change found new opportunities. According to Mathew, Beyonce consistently looked ahead rather than reacting after change had already happened. She studied the business, learned from experience, and surrounded herself with professionals who shared her commitment to excellence. That approach helped transform her from a successful recording artist into a global brand. As her influence expanded, so did public curiosity about her wealth. People wanted to know whether her fortune came primarily from music, touring, endorsements, investments, or other business ventures. They wondered how much credit belonged to Mathew Knowles, how much resulted from Beyoncé's own decisions, and what role, if any, JayZ played in building their financial empire. Those questions continue to spark debate today. But before examining the business empire that made Beyonce one of the most influential entertainers in history, it's important to understand the foundation on which everything else was built. According to Mathew Knowles, that foundation wasn't luck, it wasn't privilege, and it certainly wasn't overnight success. It was years of preparation, discipline, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to excellence long before the world knew the name Beyonce. In the next chapter, we'll explore how that foundation evolved into a business strategy that extended far beyond music and helped create one of entertainment's most remarkable success stories. As Beyoncé's career continued to soar, one thing became increasingly clear: she wasn't content with simply being a successful singer. While millions of fans admired her voice, choreography, and unforgettable performances, she was quietly building something much larger, a brand designed to stand the test of time. Mathew Knowles has often explained that lasting success in entertainment requires more than talent. A hit song can make an artist famous, but turning that fame into a long-term career takes planning, discipline, and smart decision-making. From his perspective, Beyonce understood this lesson earlier than many people realized. During her rise to superstardom, the music industry was undergoing dramatic changes. Record sales were no longer the only measure of success. Digital platforms were transforming how fans consumed music, and artists had more opportunities than ever to expand beyond traditional recording careers. Instead of resisting these changes, Beyonce embraced them. Every new album felt different from the last. She challenged expectations, experimented with new sounds, and presented projects that encouraged listeners to experience her music in entirely new ways. Rather than following industry trends, she often created them. This willingness to innovate became one of the defining features of her career. Mathew has suggested that Beyonce never viewed success as a finish line. Every accomplishment simply raised the standard for what came next. After one successful project, she immediately focused on improving the next one. That constant pursuit of excellence became a habit that shaped every aspect of her professional life. Fans usually see the finished performance. They witness flawless choreography, powerful vocals, and breathtaking stage production. What they rarely see are the countless hours of preparation that make those moments possible. People who have worked with Beyonce frequently describe an artist who rehearses extensively, studies every detail, and refuses to settle for anything less than her best. From lighting cues to costume changes, from vocal arrangements to stage movement, every element receives careful attention before audiences ever see the final result. That level of preparation reflects a mindset that extends far beyond music. According to Mathew Knowles, Beyonce approached business with the same seriousness she brought to performing. She wanted to understand contracts, negotiate wisely, and maintain as much creative control as possible over her work. Creative control became increasingly valuable as her influence grew. Many artists depend heavily on outside executives to shape their careers. Beyonce gradually took a more active role in making important decisions, helping determine not only how her music sounded, but also how it was presented to the world. That independence strengthened both her artistic identity and her business position. As her popularity expanded internationally, touring became another major pillar of her career. Live performances evolved into spectacular productions featuring elaborate staging, talented musicians, dancers, visual effects, and carefully crafted storytelling. These concerts were far more than ordinary performances. They became cultural events that attracted audiences from around the world. Producing shows of that scale requires enormous coordination. Behind every concert is a team of professionals responsible for logistics, technical production, costumes, choreography, security, transportation, and countless other details. Managing projects of this size demands leadership as well as creativity. Successful tours also demonstrate an important reality about celebrity wealth. While hit songs introduce artists to audiences, live performances often become one of the most significant sources of revenue during a long career. But touring alone doesn't explain Beyoncé's financial success. Over time, she expanded into other areas that strengthened her overall business portfolio. Strategic partnerships, creative ventures, production work, and carefully managed branding opportunities allowed her influence to extend beyond music. Mathew has emphasized that protecting a reputation is just as important as building one. Every business opportunity carries potential benefits as well as risks. Choosing the right collaborations requires patience and long-term thinking. A decision that creates short-term profits may not always strengthen a brand over the years. Beyoncé appeared to recognize that balance. Rather than accepting every opportunity available, she developed a reputation for being selective. That careful approach helped preserve the image she had spent decades building. Another factor often overlooked is consistency. Many entertainers enjoy brief moments of extraordinary popularity before fading from public attention. Beyoncé's career has followed a different path. Year after year, she has remained one of the entertainment industry's most recognizable and respected figures. Maintaining that level of influence requires constant adaptation. Musical tastes evolve, technology changes, new artists emerge, audience expectations shift. Remaining relevant through all of those changes demands continuous growth. According to Mathew Knowles, one of Beyoncé's greatest strengths has been her willingness to keep learning. No matter how successful she became, she continued refining her craft and exploring new creative possibilities. That attitude helped her avoid becoming trapped by past achievements. Of course, public fascination with her wealth only increased as her success continued. Financial publications regularly estimate the fortunes of celebrities, but those figures are rarely exact. Private investments, ownership interests, business agreements, and personal financial planning often remain confidential. As a result, public estimates should be viewed as informed approximations rather than definitive totals. Even so, the broader picture remains clear. Beyoncé has built one of the most successful careers in modern entertainment by combining artistic excellence with disciplined business strategy. Mathew Knowles believes that combination explains far more about her financial success than rumors or speculation ever could. While headlines often focus on dramatic numbers, the real story lies in decades of preparation, smart decisions, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. The empire people see today wasn't created by one successful album or one major business deal. It was built step by step, opportunity by opportunity, decision by decision. And perhaps that is the most valuable lesson Mathew Knowles continues to share whenever questions about Beyoncé's wealth arise. Extraordinary success rarely comes from a single breakthrough. Instead, it grows through years of persistence, careful planning, and the determination to improve long after most people would have been satisfied. In the next part, we'll explore how ownership, entrepreneurship, and Beyoncé's expanding influence transformed her from a global superstar into one of the most powerful business figures in entertainment. As Beyoncé's influence continued to expand, it became increasingly clear that she was no longer operating solely as a recording artist. She had evolved into a creative leader, whose decisions affected music, fashion, film, live entertainment, and business. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It was the result of years spent learning how the entertainment industry worked and recognizing that true success meant building something that could last for generations. Mathew Knowles has often spoken about the importance of thinking beyond immediate rewards. Early success can be exciting, but maintaining that success is a completely different challenge. According to him, one of Beyoncé's greatest strengths has always been her willingness to prepare for the future instead of focusing only on the present. That mindset influenced nearly every stage of her career. As her reputation grew, she became increasingly involved in shaping the creative direction of her own projects. Rather than simply recording songs chosen by others, she played an active role in developing concepts, selecting collaborators, and ensuring that every release reflected her artistic vision. This level of involvement required time, patience, and confidence. Creative control is something many artists hope to achieve, but earning that level of trust usually takes years of consistent success. Beyoncé gradually reached a point where her reputation gave her greater freedom to make bold decisions. Some of those decisions surprised the music industry. Instead of relying entirely on traditional promotional campaigns, she introduced projects in ways that generated excitement through creativity and originality. Fans eagerly anticipated each new era, because they understood that every release would offer something different. That ability to create anticipation became one of her greatest competitive advantages. Mathew Knowles has suggested that innovation should never replace preparation. While bold ideas capture attention, successful execution depends on careful planning. Every major project requires months of organization, countless meetings, and detailed coordination among large teams of professionals. Behind every performance are choreographers, musicians, producers, costume designers, technical crews, creative directors, and business managers working together toward a common goal. Leading projects on that scale requires more than artistic talent. It demands leadership. Those leadership qualities became increasingly visible as Beyoncé's responsibilities expanded. She wasn't simply participating in creative projects, she was helping guide them from concept to completion. That role naturally strengthened her understanding of business. Throughout her career, Beyoncé has demonstrated the importance of protecting intellectual property. Music, visual content, performances, and original ideas all carry long-term value. Ownership of those creative assets can influence an artist's financial future for decades. Industry experts frequently point out that successful entertainers often think beyond immediate income. They focus on creating work that continues generating value long after its original release. This philosophy encourages artists to view every project as an investment rather than a single event. Mathew Knowles has often emphasized that financial education plays an important role in sustaining success. Creative ability opens doors, but understanding contracts, negotiations, licensing, and long-term planning helps artists protect what they have earned. According to his perspective, Beyoncé consistently showed an interest in learning those aspects of the business. She understood that asking questions, reviewing agreements carefully, and surrounding herself with knowledgeable advisors could strengthen both her career and her independence. Another important factor in her journey has been adaptability. The entertainment industry evolves constantly. New technologies emerge, audience preferences shift, and business models continue changing. Artists who remain successful for decades are usually those who embrace change instead of resisting it. Beyoncé repeatedly demonstrated that ability. Whether experimenting with new musical styles, incorporating innovative visual storytelling, or exploring different creative formats, she continued finding ways to remain relevant while staying true to her artistic identity. That balance isn't easy to achieve. Many performers either change too dramatically or remain too predictable. Beyoncé managed to evolve while preserving the qualities that originally attracted audiences. Her consistency also earned the respect of business partners. Companies generally prefer collaborating with individuals who have established reputations for professionalism and reliability. Over time, Beyoncé developed an image associated with quality, preparation, and excellence. That reputation became an asset in itself. Mathew Knowles believes reputation is one of the most valuable resources an entertainer can possess. It cannot be purchased overnight, and once damaged, it can be difficult to rebuild. Protecting that reputation requires careful decision-making. Every public appearance, creative project, and business partnership contributes to how audiences perceive an artist over time. As public interest in Beyoncé's financial success continued growing, countless rumors appeared online. Some claimed her fortune came primarily from music sales. Others suggested business investments played the largest role. Still others credited outside influences for much of her success. Mathew has consistently encouraged people to avoid oversimplified explanations. In his view, no single factor explains Beyoncé's achievements. Instead, her career reflects the combination of extraordinary talent, disciplined preparation, thoughtful business decisions, and the willingness to continue improving year after year. That perspective offers an important lesson for anyone hoping to build long-term success. There is rarely one secret. There is rarely one defining moment. Most remarkable careers develop gradually through persistence, resilience, and thousands of decisions made over many years. Every rehearsal matters. Every performance matters. Every contract matters. Every relationship matters. Together, those individual choices shape a much larger story. For Beyoncé, That story has become one of the most remarkable examples of sustained excellence in modern entertainment. Her influence extends far beyond music, because she consistently approached her career with both creativity and strategic thinking. Mathew Knowles believes those qualities helped transform a gifted young performer into a global icon, whose impact reaches audiences around the world. As we move into the next chapter, we'll examine how Beyoncé's legacy continues inspiring future generations of artists and entrepreneurs, while exploring the broader lessons her remarkable journey offers about ambition, ownership, and building success that lasts. By this stage of Beyoncé's remarkable career, the conversation had grown beyond awards, hit singles, and sold-out arenas. She had become a symbol of longevity in an industry where fame can disappear almost as quickly as it arrives. For aspiring artists, business leaders, and even longtime fans, her journey represented more than entertainment. It became a case study in how preparation, discipline, and strategic thinking can create opportunities that last for decades. Mathew Knowles has often reflected on the importance of building a career with a long-term vision. In his opinion, many talented performers focus only on achieving their first major breakthrough. While reaching that milestone is certainly important, sustaining success requires a completely different mindset. Beyoncé appeared to understand this distinction from an early stage in her career. Rather than treating success as a destination, she viewed it as a responsibility. Every achievement created new expectations, and those expectations motivated her to continue improving. Instead of repeating the same formula year after year, she consistently challenged herself to explore new creative ideas, while maintaining the quality that audiences had come to expect. That willingness to evolve became one of her defining strengths. The entertainment industry is constantly changing. Musical trends shift, technology advances, and audience preferences evolve from one generation to the next. Artists who refuse to adapt often struggle to remain relevant. Beyoncé, however, repeatedly demonstrated an ability to grow alongside these changes. She embraced innovation without losing the identity that made her one of the world's most recognizable performers. Whether through ambitious visual storytelling, carefully planned live productions, or creative collaborations, she continued finding fresh ways to connect with audiences around the globe. Mathew Knowles believes this adaptability reflects an important lesson. Success should never lead to complacency. Instead, it should encourage continuous learning. Throughout her career, Beyoncé has been associated with meticulous preparation. People who have worked on her productions frequently describe extensive rehearsals, detailed planning sessions, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Every performance reflects countless hours of work that audiences never see. That dedication extends beyond the stage. Preparing for major tours involves coordinating hundreds of professionals responsible for transportation, production, choreography, wardrobe, lighting, sound, security, logistics, and countless other responsibilities. Managing projects on such a large scale requires exceptional organization. Leadership becomes just as important as creativity. According to Mathew, successful leaders understand that great results depend on great teams. While Beyoncé may stand at the center of every performance, those productions rely on the efforts of numerous talented individuals working together toward a shared vision. Recognizing and supporting those teams contributes to long-term success. Another important aspect of Beyoncé's journey has been her commitment to maintaining high standards. Whether recording music, filming visual projects, or preparing for live performances, she has consistently been recognized for expecting excellence from herself first. That attitude influences everyone around her. When leaders demonstrate discipline and professionalism, those qualities often become part of the culture surrounding their projects. Over time, this consistency strengthens trust. Fans trust that new projects will meet high expectations. Business partners trust that commitments will be honored. Creative collaborators trust that their work will contribute to something meaningful. Trust, once established, becomes one of the most valuable assets any public figure can possess. Mathew Knowles has often emphasized that reputation cannot be separated from financial success. A strong reputation creates opportunities. A damaged reputation can limit them. Protecting that reputation requires thoughtful decision-making over many years. Every business partnership, creative collaboration, and public appearance contributes to the image audiences associate with an artist. For Beyoncé, maintaining that image required balancing artistic freedom with careful business judgment. This balance has become increasingly important as public interest in celebrity wealth continues growing. Many discussions focus exclusively on estimated financial figures, attempting to rank entertainers according to their reported fortunes. While those numbers attract headlines, they rarely capture the complete picture. Financial success is not simply about how much money someone earns. It also reflects how effectively opportunities are managed, how wisely decisions are made, and how consistently value is created over time. Mathew believes these principles explain far more about Beyoncé's journey than sensational rumors ever could. He has repeatedly encouraged audiences to appreciate the years of work behind every visible achievement. Before global tours came local performances. Before international recognition came countless rehearsals. Before major business opportunities came years of building credibility. Every stage prepared the foundation for the next. This gradual progression challenges the myth of overnight success. In reality, remarkable careers are usually built through patience, persistence, and the willingness to continue learning even after reaching extraordinary levels of achievement. Beyoncé's story reflects exactly that process. While headlines often focus on awards, record-breaking tours, and financial milestones, those accomplishments represent the visible outcome of decades of preparation. Mathew Knowles continues to point toward the same conclusion whenever questions arise about his daughter's success. Talent opened the first door. Hard work kept those doors open. Discipline transformed opportunities into lasting achievements. Business knowledge helped protect those achievements. And an unwavering commitment to excellence allowed her influence to continue growing long after many expected it to peak. As we approach the final chapter of this story, one message becomes increasingly clear. Understanding Beyoncé's financial success requires looking beyond impressive numbers. It requires recognizing the habits, decisions, sacrifices, and leadership that helped build one of the most enduring careers in modern entertainment. In the final part, we'll bring together everything Mathew Knowles has shared about Beyoncé's journey and explore the lasting lessons her remarkable career offers to future generations of artists, entrepreneurs, and dreamers around the world. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.